I'm gonna redo that whole intro that I just did. Because I just kept on talking and talking and talking. But the whole time I was essentially saying nothing. But if you're new here, welcome. My name's William. I make music and I'm 17 years old. I work 2 jobs, trying to like fund my music, and I'm in school, so that is me. But basically, I'm just gonna talk about a bunch of shit and like constantly. I don't know why I said constantly. Just what's on my mind. So if you fuck with that, you're in the right place. Because I'm just gonna talk and I'm just gonna keep talking, and because I have a lot of things to say, but I've never done like a YouTube rant before, so here we are. But I was talking about like how I got into music pretty young, and how that's the only career path I see myself doing. And I will not settle. I won't settle for anything. I used to be like, well, I work at Jersey Mike's right now, and a local ice cream shop. I've worked at the local ice cream shop for 2 years now. I think I got the job when I was 15. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, 15, 16, 17. But I'm working those 2 jobs right now. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I can't settle. Like I used to say like probably like fucking like last year I was like, you know what, I'm like I don't think music's like actually gonna work out. And when like I started like gaining what the fuck is wrong, bro? When I started gaining traction with like my music and shit, I was like, oh yeah, this is like temporary, like, and I think the way I view stuff in my life, which is stupid, I view things as like very temporary. So I don't try to get like attached to things because I feel like I'm just hardwired that it's like gonna end at some point. Which everything does end eventually, but um I know I should try to like kind of live within like what's going on at that time and not like just like think about when it's gonna end, which I'm working on it, but it's kind of just the way I've been since I was young. But when I started like gaining traction and shit last year, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna end and like give it like fucking like 2 months. But I'm kind of in a good place with my music right now where it like financially can support me and I can kind of do what I want and like the in the terms that I can release music and have an audience, which I think is sick. And I love you guys so much. If you listen to my music, like that means the world. But I used to just say I'll just work like fast food until I die, which is a mindset I still kind of have. I feel like it's music or nothing. Like, and I'm not trying to sit here and be like fucking like cringy or like music, bro. It's music or nothing. But like, it truly is. Like, it truly is. Like, this is the only career I've ever wanted, and I'm so dead set that the things that are temporary is like the jobs I have right now, and like kind of the like situation I'm in like as a person, like, and then one like I just think one day I'll be you know comfortable and content, and being able to like fully devote my life to music, which I think this, if you're listening to this and you have like something that you're dead set on doing and you're confident that you can do it, and um you should do it. Like, I don't think we should settle for um a path in life that isn't designated for us. I think we should, what the fuck? I think we should kind of just do everything we can, like whatever it takes, and I'm so dead set on it, and I'm doing whatever I can. Like, to keep it quite frank, I've been working since I was 15. And recently I picked up another job because I know I'm gonna have to fund my music career, and I know I'm gonna have to have money, like money just doesn't fucking come from air. So and bro, also, yo, I had to fuck taxes, bro. Fuck taxes. I had to pay taxes. Well, I didn't even pay them yet, but my mom like totaled up the taxes I owe. Holy shit. Okay, but long story short. See, if you're getting to know me right now, I can't speak, and I'm like kind of not the brightest. Like I'm actually kind of like I don't think before I speak, so ignore me. But I was gonna say, yeah, I saved up 10,000 in my bank account. Like just like 2 days, I hit 10,000, and like I know that money's gonna like go down and go down, but I have been working to fund myself, you know, as I'm 17, and there's so many things I want to do, and fucking like studio money, like, or whatever, like, just like being able to pay for things, like that's very important to me. So I've been working a lot, and low-key, in a sense, like working myself to death, because I've been like sick and tired, and I wake up every morning for school, and I haven't been on time for school once in the last like 3 months. And that's another thing with school I could get into. I really dislike school, like so bad. I think there's a big issue with public school, and the way I see it with like conformity, and when I'm the biggest believer that you can be whoever you want to be, and we all change and we all grow as humans and change into like different people, and I think as long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters. But there's just like such like a sense and need to like be not yourself in high school, if that makes sense, which I struggle with myself. So that's why I feel like I can speak on it, is that I've seen so many like people I'm around, and I've talked to my my best friend about this, is that people like just kind of like clone each other, you know what I mean? Like in the way they like speak and present themselves, and like how many people fuck with like AI Fruit Love Island at my school? Like one person found it, and then like suddenly like everyone likes it, and I do not freak with the AI, like the Love Island Fruit AI, like fuck. Yeah, but like I've seen that like random shit will just happen, and fucking, and then suddenly everyone's in like love with that shit. I don't know, like fucking like fucking Cherry Slush Alani. I'm just kidding. There's nothing wrong with Alani. There was a period in freshman year where, and I'm very heavily addicted to like Celsius and like caffeine, which is bad, and I don't think that's like a flex, because I know it will be like bad in like 20 years when they're like, yeah, like caffeine intake will kill you, like, because we don't. That's another thing, we don't know like the 20 years down the line what Celsius and like Alani's will do to us. Like, it's the same thing. When they dropped cigarettes, they were like, this is good, and this will help us. So everyone was like smoking and shit, and now they all died, or like they're gonna, like they have like cancer. I think. I probably sound so stupid right now, but like a lot of bad things stemmed from like cigarettes. We all know cigarettes are not good. Like no. But I was thinking the thumb was gonna pop up. Never mind. Like little boo boos and like Dubai chocolate and all that shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying right now. Kind of just TikTok. And that's another thing, is TikTok. I mean, TikTok kind of did like give me like a career. Like I wouldn't say that this is like a career, although I know it will be at some point. But TikTok kind of gave me this like head start on music with a lot of other artists too. Like a lot of artists gain their support and their following on TikTok, which is so awesome. I'm very grateful for that. But I think social media is like so bad. I think social media is like the worst thing ever invented. And I can sit here and I can be like, oh yeah, fuck social media, bro. Fuck social media. Like, but we are all victim to it because we're all literally just addicted to social media. Me too am addicted to social media. Like my screen time is probably so bad. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. And I'm gonna look at my screen time right now. Like at the beginning of the new year, I was like, I'm gonna change things. I'm gonna like fix shit, but it all went downhill. So let me find it. Yo, real ones are gonna comment right now if they're still watching. Or should I give you a word to comment? Cashew. Bro. Oh, I found it. Okay. Well, it's at 4 hours today. But other days it's like 9. Other days it's like 8. So the thing is, I have to like keep myself grounded, and sometimes I have to be like while I'm like actually living right now, and like also there's like so many issues with like just the internet that it would be a whole nother video if I wanted to like really get into that. Like with this shit, like I read like an article. It was like when like Taylor Swift dropped her album or whatever back in like October. Everyone was like hating on it for like insane reasons. They were really ripping her apart. And I just remember like seeing, I was like, there's still a lot of shit. Like this is a lot of like I've seen like a lot of videos. Like I felt like the videos were like in my face for like at least a week. And then they stopped. And then an article came out that it was driven by bots. Which is like, it kind of makes me think. Yeah, I think we should think more about that. That like it was driven by bots. Most of the hate. So if you have like internet bots setting ideas into our heads, like that's not good. That's like, I don't know if if I'm gonna use the right word, like propaganda, because I know that's like a political term, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of just like, it's like not propaganda, it's like swaying people to think a certain way. I should just say that instead of like trying to be smart and use big words, but if we have like literally fucking robots, bro, on the internet trying to like turn people against each other. I mean, what it is turning people against each other. There's Taylor Swift supporters, and then there's fucking Taylor Swift haters, and they're just going at it. But then we think in the middle we have AI. Okay, I just sound insane, but no, bro, it's true. It's the robots. It is the robots. And same thing with Chapel Roan. Which I love Chapel Roan. You know what? I will always support Chapel Roan. The same thing was happening right now with, I saw another article. It was like, whoa, I can't see myself anymore. Okay, yeah, I can see myself now. It was like, bots are leading hate against Chapel Roan on TikTok. I was like, of course they are. So I see some of these crazy takes about Chapel Roan, I'm like, bro, really? Anyways, I think we should think more about the fact that bots are able to generate like and post videos, or like kind of like insert themselves in the internet like that. I don't know. And that's just me personally. I do think AI is going to be our downfall in one way or another, whether it be with employment or music or graphic design is done. Like I'm friends with a graphic designer. He's a goat. Like, and he loves what he does. Um, and the way AI can like whip shit up now, it makes me so upset. Like that it's not gonna be able to like I don't know if like graphic design is gonna still be like a job, you know, in like 20 years. I wish it would be. Same shit with music, but I think music's irreplaceable. I think there's something so priceless about, you know, just music coming from a human and going to another human. But I was talking about, yeah, Chaperone. I think there's so many instances of and I've seen this like said on social media and whatever else, that it's when a woman defends themselves versus like a man kind of setting their boundary. There's such a difference that like the hate is totally directed more at Chapel Roan for defending herself, which it gets on my nerves because I think there's also another issue with social media, and I'll touch back on the topic. There's such another issue with social media that we like the way people criticize people online. We kind of like dehumanize people that we see. Um, you know, like insert ourselves in situations when you truly will never know anything about a situation that you see online. You are literally just the consumer to the media that you're being presented, and that's all it is. You know, you will never know you will never know the details. But yo, I hear my mom coming downstairs. All right, I'm back. My mom came downstairs. I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking and not saying anything, but I was talking about like on the internet and how not even we like just select people. Hi, Crystal. This is my dog. She's probably gonna walk away. She did. How people dehumanize like celebrities and, you know, people they see online. There's nothing in there. For no reason, and I think they do it unknowingly as well. I've seen some of the most like vile things said about other people, but you know, back to like, you know, Chapel Roan. I think sometimes you just need to put yourself in someone else's shoes, you know? People are like, she chose to be famous. She chose to be famous. Like, why is she mad that the paparazzi's like following her to her car and, you know, screaming at her? But, you know, is that the way it has to be if you want to be famous? Is that you have to be, you know, harassed and stalked? And I mean, what she said about the fucking paparazzi is completely the truth, that it's like a stalking job. I think none of us here would ever enjoy getting pictures taken of us when, like, bro, I look like shit when I go outside. Like, I like imagine like just, you know, going about your day, going somewhere like random, and then some motherfucker comes out of like a bush or some shit with like a $4,000 camera, starts taking pictures. Like, that's just unreal. Like they look hide, like, and they're weird. I don't know, but I think she should be able to defend herself. And I think there's so many things with like these like big male celebrities, and I've seen them like defend themselves against paparazzi. You know, like so many, and then, you know, the comments are like, yeah, I love them for this, and then the comments against Chapel Roan are like completely like just firing at her and like calling her terrible things and just basically invalidating how she feels. And I think I don't know, it just says a lot, unfortunately, about our society. I wish more people would like kind of realize that, and a lot of people do, but I wish everyone would, which probably, like, that's like wishing for the most impossible thing ever. So, but yeah, but we should like, I mean, I feel like everyone should defend themselves against paparazzi. So, you know, I think paparazzi is like, are like the most low life motherfuckers on the planet. Like taking pictures of people as they're up. Like, there's two different sides of it. Like, you know, there's the street interviewers or whatever. And like that's cool. And like Grammys, red carpet, like that's cool. That's your job. But like hunting people down, like driving around to go find them, that's so, like, that's such like a low life activity. Yeah, but I've just been talking a lot and probably talking about a lot of nothing. So, yeah. I feel like I had more shit to say. Oh, yo, I broke my glasses. You can't even like tell though. I look like an idiot right now, so I'm just gonna take them off. Yeah. So, but here's the thing: if you notice with me, I'll like bring up one topic and then I'll stem into another topic and I stem into another topic. But you know what? That's okay, because that's what I wanted to do. Is I just wanted to talk. So yeah, I'm probably gonna talk a little bit more about like shit that I want to talk about, and then I'm gonna answer to your Instagram questions. Also, I don't know if I've plugged the Spotify. It's gonna be William McGee. You know, just how you think you spell it, probably. So yeah, you know, WILLIAMMCGEE. So yeah, William McGee. Yeah, but I was talking earlier about how it's music or nothing. And there was a time I almost like quit music completely. I think it was the beginning of sophomore year. It was like August. I remember there was a day, that it like I lost my like mind. I started completely like I just like cried, bro. Like, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I cried, and I was like, wow, this is stupid. Like, I'm not ever gonna like make music, and no one's gonna ever care. That's just how I felt. There was two instances of this. It was like, I think I dropped a song. I think both times I dropped a song. And I want to say I like woke up like to check the streams in the morning, because I was like, oh yeah, I wonder how many streams I got. I was like probably so excited. I think I got like 5 streams or something, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting 5 streams, but I was like so like I just like had such a passion to, you know, be like a big artist and kind of like thrive as an artist, and like have people like see my shit and like care, because I was so like proud of the song. I think it was like evergreen. I think I got like truly like 3 or 5 streams like on its first day, like in the morning. I woke up and I was just like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I was just like, what the fuck, bro? I was like, this is all I want to do. And I got like literally like a hand of people. So I was just super discouraged. I just remember, you know, just crying. And I was like, yeah, fuck this shit. Like, I think I gave myself like a deadline. I was like, if I don't take off by like 2025, I have to like lock in and I have to devote my life to something else. So, which is just so crazy to think about. And I was thinking about like politics or some stupid shit. I was like, I think I like told my friends, I was like, you know, what about like local politics, which is, I don't fucking know. Me and politics is like not a good, that would be bad. Like, I wouldn't be like, I don't know, I just wouldn't be a politician ever. That's the truth. You know, so anyways, but that was also like a common thing throughout like freshman year. Like, I got picked on a lot, like for, you know, wanting to do music. And you know, I have no hard feelings for like any of the people. Like, I actually do talk to like some of the people that like would like make fun of my music, because, you know, it was freshman year, we were all young and still growing and still learning. Like, no one really says anything to me anymore, like at all. So, and I'm very grateful for the fact that I don't, you know, get get like heckled in the hallway anymore. So that's sick. But like freshman year, like there were so many like times where, you know, like I just had the mindset that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do music, like, and this is gonna be my whole life. And you know, like when when you get dogged on for like, you know, everything you do and like the shit you post online, um, you don't feel too good about yourself, um, and you don't feel any worth. Um, you know, like I there was like a few instances like there would be times where like kids would like walk up to me like holding the phone with like a video of me on it, and they would be like and they wouldn't even say anything, so it was just like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like if someone did that now, I would be like, what are we doing, bro? Like, get a life. We should have jobs and be applying to college now. It's freshman year, so chill on my boys, you know. But there was this one time, there was this kid. Um, we'll call him like a Steven. Steven, like, I guess like he found out I did music or whatever. And I would pass him a few times in the hallway. Anyways, so I passed him, like let's say like second period. Wait, I gotta forget what he said. Let's just say he said like my music sounds like shit or something. Or you know, he'd be like, yo, William, your some music sounds like shit. I didn't know he was talking to me, and I heard him like yelling, but I was like, I didn't know if he was talking to me, so I didn't turn around, and it just looked like I didn't hear him, so he just looked like a fool. He did like said the same thing like different times in the day, and I was like, why have you been heckling me all day? It's fine. He's a nice kid now, so and I don't think about it at all. But there's also times in like history class where I would literally, I sat alone. I had no friends. Like I truly did not have a lot of friends, freshman year. Or well, especially in that class is what I kind of mean. So I sat alone, and I would just get heckled by the kids in that class. I don't even know if I'm using heckled in the right terminology, but I was just getting, like you said, people would like, they would say stuff about like my music, and like kind of just like laugh at me. There was just this one kid. I don't think he goes to the school anymore. He would just like scream at me, bro. And the history teacher, God bless him, because he's a nice dude. I like have him this year for like a law and justice class, but he wouldn't do anything. He would just like let them kind of say shit to me, and they would just constantly like scream it at me that I like suck at music. But they wouldn't do anything. Like the teacher wouldn't do anything. They were just allowed to do that, and so like the one day I literally just got up and walked out of the class, and then the teacher tracks me down in the hallway and is like, he's like, you can't get up and leave the classroom. You can't do that. I know it is distracting what they're saying. And I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, in like the nicest way ever. Like, bro, you can't allow like people to like one, disrupt your class, and two, you can't expect me to not react. That was freshman year. These kids have all matured so much more now. There was such like a maturing point between freshman year and sophomore year because I was scarred. I think I've grown a lot with that, but like going into sophomore year, I changed myself a lot. You know, I really worked on the music. I almost considered being a rapper, so you do what you will with that. Like I was like, what if I like, that's another thing with like conformity. I was like, yeah, no, I need to start like making like indie music now, or like that's what Evergreen was. If you listen to Evergreen, like that was such a switch up from like my old shit. But like I was like, wow, bro, I need to start making like some like hip hop rap and like fucking indie shit, like all the shit that like the kids that like made fun of me, like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like totally submit to what they like, which I didn't end up doing, and I found my sound and it worked, thankfully. But I also just like stopped, like I started like dressing like everyone else in my school, you know, like I wore like Nike hoodies and shit, and like just like everything else that people in my school would wear. And there's nothing wrong with Nike hoodies, like at all. I own plenty, but I wore them because I just wanted to look like every other dude in my school, you know? I just, like, I don't know. That's all it is. Like, freshman year, I was a fucking weirdo, and I would, like, straighten my hair to, like, have, like, the TikTok boy, like, fluffy hair. Because I have, like, curly hair, kind of. It's kind of wavy to curly. So I would straighten my hair, and so that I just kind of looked like I had, like 6'7" hair, you know, or whatever the fuck they call it. So that's what I would have, and I don't know. I felt such a need to fit in, and I don't feel that at all right now. Like, sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is what I was thinking about today. Like, I dyed my hair like kind of black brown. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna go back to school tomorrow, and in my mind, someone's gonna say something like, bro, why'd you dye your hair black? Like, are you emo? Are you emo, bro? Like, why would you dye your hair black? But I knew maybe that would happen in freshman year, but no. I'm a junior now. That shit don't happen. But I was scarred from freshman year. So when I went back sophomore year, everyone changed and was so much more mature. And really, no one said anything to me. Like, I heard about, like, seniors, like, making fun of me or something. Like, these seniors, like, that, you know, are in college right now. I guess they were making fun of me last year, which is cool. Like, I think a lot of people, this is another thing. A lot of people will make fun of you, for trying to pursue what you want to do. And humans are judgmental. Everyone has judgment over what they see. And then there's also people that are, you know, mean and will say that stuff to your face. So you kind of have to not listen, and you kind of have to. I know it's hard for me to say. You don't have to listen to it, and you can just kind of keep going forward. But that's all you have to do, you know. Like, I think if I would have fell into what I was being instigated into, I would have just simply not been here, you know, today. Like, I felt such a need to, like, not be like a human in, like, freshman year. Like, I was like, yeah, this is gonna kill me. I know that's, like, cringy, but, like, it was bad. Like, not even just, like, freshman year and, like, people, like, not fucking with my music and being like, I'm glad he puts himself out there, but you know, he's ass. And we're being like, yeah, your shit sucks. It wasn't even that, and it wasn't even the fact that, like, all my peers, like, I felt like they didn't like me. It was just simply the fact that I felt like that was my purpose, and I felt like my purpose was not there, and also just combated with, you know, haven't had, like, the easiest, like, personal life, and, like, there's just a lot of stuff that I do, like, struggle with, and just overall I wasn't in a good headspace, and you know, I just did not feel like being alive, and, like, thankfully I haven't felt like that in, like, a while, or, like, I haven't felt as empty as I did. Like, even last year I was not, like, in a good headspace. I think over the summer I was not in a good headspace. I feel a lot better about my life right now, and, like, me as a person. I feel like I've grown a lot, and I feel like I feel content with life, which is something I've never, you know, felt. Like, through my childhood, I was, you know, super vocal about, like it was probably, like, really, like, stupid for my parents to deal with, but, like, there was such, like, I had such an inclination to, like, just be like, yeah, I don't want to be alive, and that's, like, the type of shit that I would say, and I don't know, and it was just sad, and also I wish the people in my life would have taken that more seriously, because, like, there was a lot of times where it was close, but, I don't know why I just got really vulnerable for a second, but you know what, it's YouTube, bro. Probably 5 people are gonna watch this, but anyways, yeah, I just wish it was taken more seriously. But yeah, and I think I've grown a lot as a person, and I think I'm content and happy with life. And, you know, also my brother might walk in the door at any given moment, so I'll stop the video and then I'll resume, because I hear my dog. Yo, Crystal. Anyways, I just felt like such a need for there always to be like some type of like chaos in my life, or like something wrong with my life. And I think that's just like from, a lot of that stems from like my childhood and my family life. I feel like there was, well, growing up there was like always something like wrong, like there was just never like peace. So I kind of took it to myself as a habit to like fuck things up when it like got good. I don't know if that makes sense. You might relate to that, you might not, but I just got so used to there being like no good in life. So yeah, but there's probably a lot of talking points that I strayed away from and didn't get to, so sorry. Yeah, but that's kind of my life. And now I have like, I'm chilling. There's a lot of stories that I want to tell, but like I'm not gonna tell them though, because like I still live in the town that I'm in and I live in the city of Pittsburgh. So once I'm out of Pittsburgh, I'll start telling my stories from back home. I don't know why I'm acting like a fool right now. I'm gonna go through my Instagram and I'm gonna answer some questions. So hopes and dreams, advice, things you wish you could tell your younger you. My hopes and dreams are to be an artist. Like in 5 years, I want to be able to fund myself off of music, and I don't think there's anything wrong with pursuing something in the arts. That's where I want to be. And things I wish I could tell my younger self is kind of just, don't beat yourself up. And this isn't even like to do with music, just like don't beat yourself up. And it will be okay. Like it will be. Like even when it gets like, even now when it gets like, when shit gets like fucked, I kind of have to be like I'll be chilling in like a year from now, and this shit will be, well, I will think it's stupid. Although it is not stupid, I will think it's stupid that I put so much energy into that. Your favorite music artist / people who influence the music you make now. My favorite music artists, like, I don't know. There's so many, like, there's a lot of good artists that are just, like, an underground artist that I really like right now. I think his name's Bonnie Doon. He makes, like, he has, like, a bunch of good shit out. Today I listened to 2 of Dominic Fike's albums. I listened to Sunburn and Rocket. Rocket's, like, a mixtape, but, like, so good, bro. Like, fuck. Like, that's such a good, like, Dominic Fike is such a great artist. Like wow. Like, you think of, like, what's a good artist? And then you see Dominic Fike, you're like, wow. Like, I saw him live at Lollapalooza, and it was truly one of the best shows I've ever been to. Just like there's so much into the performance that you don't see it from a lot of people. So I really just appreciate his, like, songwriting and production. He's a fucking goat. Other artists, like, I think people who influence me a lot are, I want to say, like, I don't know, like, I feel like when I was younger I listened to the Beatles a lot, and I think that kind of arose again when I, like, just recently. I feel like, I tapped into my roots a lot, and, like, the older shit I would listen to, like, The Doors and like that. And although my music does not sound like it, it's more of just like it's just like a thing, it's just always in the back of my head when I write shit. Oh yeah, Alex G. Like, I fucking love Alex G. Like, that's a great artist. You know what? Let me just go on Spotify. The Neighborhood. I think Rabbit by The Neighborhood is a really great song. I think everyone should go listen to that. Julie, such a, like, good band. Tyler the Creator. I've always loved Tyler the Creator. Like, that's such a, like, an OG. I really love Glaive. I think Glaive's great. Radiohead. Malcolm Todd is cool. Such a good artist. Deftones, of course. Yeah, but a big thing is I find like inspiration from like so many things, and it doesn't even have to be artists. Like it's just like the way I live my life. I see inspiration in a lot of shit. Someone said, "What's your opinion about Alex G?" I think Alex G's the GOAT. Someone says, "I don't know if you would be up to this, but you mentioned struggling with food, so maybe that." Um, and I'm glad they mentioned that because I do want to talk about this. Um, so basically, I made it pretty like public on the internet, like that I do have like issues with like eating and like body image and shit. I personally have struggled with eating since since I was really young. Like I would say like probably like 9. Like I just would kind of like eat when I was upset and when I was alone. Like as a child I was home alone a lot. I didn't I never had like family dinner. I still don't have family dinner. Like I never grew up like kind of like in like a traditional family setting. Like I do love my family. But I was home alone a lot, so I would eat a lot. When I was bored I would watch TV and I would just eat, and I gained a lot of weight, and yeah, I want to say I was like inching towards like 200 pounds when I was like 12, or like I want to say like, yeah, 12. But then it was that summer when I was 12 turning 13. It was just kind of one random day, like, and I'm sure it's different for a lot of people. Like it was kind of like a light switch flipped in my head. Um and I was like, okay, I remember the exact day. I remember the exact day. Um and it kind of chain reacted from like a few things. I'm not gonna like, get into like like exactly what kind of like triggered it. But anyways, I'm not gonna get into like more details about that. But I've kind of struggled with food, and I developed an eating disorder like when I was you know like late 12 and like 13. Um, and it got really bad January of I want to say 2022. Like around November to January, it got really bad. Um, and I was like on the road to dying. So I was dying. Um, like 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 it was just really bad. And I remember there was a lot of nights where, and I don't want to trigger anyone, so I'm gonna put a trigger warning before this. But and if this is triggering to you and you are going through this, please do not watch this. But I'm just explaining my experience with it. There was just a lot of nights where I just felt so empty and cold, and it was just the worst feeling. I just remember there was like a lot of those nights. And I feel like with my experience with it, I never got the help that I needed. And I still struggle with eating to this day, and I think it's just kind of became a part of me now, which fucking sucks. But I never got the support that I needed from like anybody. Um, at that time when I was so young. But I just think like I just don't. I think my parents didn't know how to like deal with it or how to help me. Because it happened so fast, and I remember there was like a lot of times where Like I would like see someone I hadn't seen like a month, and it was like my mom's friends or some shit, and they'd be like, "Wow, I didn't recognize you at first." You know how many times I heard that? Um, like until like 2 years ago, there was like times I had to like tell my family, like my distant family, who I was. Like I had to be like, "Oh, I'm William," and they'd be like, "Whoa, we didn't recognize you." Yeah, and my family. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm gonna get into that in a second, but um, it was just I just don't think anybody knew how to help me. And I still don't think they do. But now that I'm much older, I can kind of help myself, and I choose to right now I choose to better myself, and I don't want to be like this, and I want to I want to work to be like the best version of myself, and if you're seeing this and you're going through anything similar, like whatever it be, struggling with eating, or struggling with your body, or body dysmorphia, just anything with that, like I just want you to know, like, and you've probably heard this like a billion times, but talk to a friend or like an adult, I've said a lot, but I don't know, I feel so like on the spot talking about this, but yeah, um and I've struggled with it since like 2021. Now it's 2026, so that's kind of my struggling with food story. um so it's been a long time, and I've learned a lot about myself within that, and I've learned how to deal with it. And it truly is like an illness, and it, like, I don't know how much I weigh, you know. um I remember my mom used to like take the scale from me because I was manic over that. I haven't stepped on a scale voluntarily since I was like 13. There was one time at the doctor, like every time I go to the doctor I have to tell them, like I can't, see how much I weigh, and that's just for my personal well-being, and if that helps you, then I recommend that completely. um but I remember like one time at the doctor, like he like showed my weight. Oh my god, bro, I spiraled. I fucking lost my shit. And I just, and now that I'm talking about it, I just realized how like uncomfortable I get talking about it, so I'm probably gonna move on now. But funny thing is, like, I feel like every time I'm with my distant family, they always say something about like, my weight or my appearance, which I think is, I don't know, it just leaves a weird taste in my mouth. Um, I don't fuck with that, I remember like I was like with my aunt, she was like, "You look so skinny." She was like, "Your arms look skinny." I was like, "Great, bro. That helped. That helped a lot." So yeah, don't be that person. That's fucking weird. It's just why. But yeah. Thank you for asking that question. I'm probably gonna cut a lot of parts out of that. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about like one last thing before I end my like rant, and that's gonna be kind of just like music, like as I progress into my career, But I just I just never want music to become something that I feel like obligated to do, and I don't think I ever will be. Um, but I just never want it to become like a job. Like I do want it to be my job, but I don't want it to be like how I see my job now. How I see Jersey Mike's. Like I don't want to fucking dread, having to make a song, or I don't want to feel like I'm trapped in doing music or whatever. And like at the point where I'm at now, like I'm like seeing so much more than I did like last year. Like last year I was pretty like was having like my first licks of like success, like dude, I say a lot. What the fuck? Bro, man, what the fuck? Okay, I say you know a lot. Okay, anyways, I'm moving on. Um, I was seeing like my first like I was having my first success with a song. Uh, but this year's totally different. I feel like um I'm seeing so much more of like the business side of music, and like I'm seeing like labels, and I'm getting more insight than I've ever gotten before, on different artists, and what, like whatever it is, it's just so much more like than I've ever known. Like I never thought there would be like I've always been like fans of like artists, but I never thought I'd be like close to like not close to an artist, but like connected. You know what I mean? Like I would never think that this person who works for this artist would ever like reach out to like me, or I would be reaching out to them, or they would be communicating with me. It was just things like that, or it was so it was so mind-boggling to me back then, and it's the reality of my life like now, which I think is really hard for me to grasp, and I think it scares me especially, and it scared me a lot in the summer. Like there would be times like people would reach out to me who like work for whatever, and I would ghost them, and I would ghost these like or managers or A&Rs or whoever would be contacting me. I wouldn't like ghost them, but I would get scared, and I would be like I would text them and be like, oh yeah, I can call this day, and then I'd be like, oh no, I can't. Basically I was just like being scared. But my brother's helping me now, and I've also matured so much more, and I actually want to talk to these people, and they do have good interests, and a lot of them have good intention, and I think I was just scared at first that I was gonna get like taken advantage of, and my life would be fucked up when I was 16. But yeah, um, I'm seeing so much more of like the business side of music, and I think now it does scare me that this is serious, and I always want music to like be my hobby and my safe space, and I never want to be like infiltrated as a job. And I don't know if that makes sense. There, I fucking said again. Damn it, bro. And I just like wanted to. I never wanted to be more than just the music. Fuck, I said, man, I said again. Like after I just critiqued myself, I just don't want. I just don't want it to be. I should do a mukbang. 40 minutes. I just don't want it to be more than the music, like ever. All right, I'm signing off, bro. Um, it's been real. Um, love yourself. Love your friends. Love your parents. Or don't love anybody. But always love yourself. All right, peace.